everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of the Simian Jimmy Treehouse podcast. I never thought I would see the day. 20 full episodes. Even the Mumkey and Big Show only made it to 35. Will we defeat that show, that classic show everybody misses and wishes that we were doing instead of this? Could be. Who can say? I am Simian Jimmy, joined today up in the treehouse by Eggy, Eggman Rodriguez.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. As always, celebrating this monumentous occasion. You know, I was almost 20 before I could even count to 20, so I figured it out just in time. That's how I live my life. I don't plan for anything, but I did plan to be here today, celebrating in the right kind of way. Yes, sir.
And speaking of celebrating episode 20, we thought, out of respect for an American hero, we should be taking one shot of Fireball cinnamon whiskey every 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Can you set that up on your watch, or should I do that on my phone?
Well, actually, I'll put it on my watch, on my phone, my stopwatch.
Smart.
Now, once again, I don't know how to count very high on numbers, so once it goes past the first round, I'm probably
we have to start it over if you can.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll start right now with some opening shots to celebrate. If you're drinking at home, 8 minutes, 46 seconds, drink with us. But cheers to 20 episodes of Pure Kino, Eggy.
Likewise. Ooh, freezer cold.
Delicious.
But I'm getting warmed up, you understand what I'm saying? Woo!
Now, Eggy, let me ask you this. Are you a fan of Futurama?
I never watched it when it came back on Comedy Central, but everything up until, the movie, I watched multiple times. It's pretty much the same thing with The Simpsons. I probably could have watched more Futurama, but basically both of those, once the movie came out, is the last time I paid attention to it.
Well, do you remember, by any chance, the character Bender's full name?
Bender Bending Rodriguez. Although in 2022 it might be more like Gender Bender, you know what I'm saying?
They did have an episode about that. I'm wondering if anybody knows that we call you Eggy Eggman Rodriguez as a reference to Bender. I think some people might think you're actually of Hispanic descent now.
Well, basically, I'm a real American. I'm basically made of everything.
Oh, wait, did you start the timer?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, good, okay.
Pretty much every molecule of human, Homo sapiens, and Hetero sapiens that exists on this planet, I got pretty much a little bit all of it in there, so I just call myself American.
You're the ultimate mutt, yeah. The melting pot of humanity is Eggy Eggman Rodriguez. We have some unfinished business from last week, Eggy. You might recall we had a man named Christopher Anderson on to debate one Florian Himzel about the Russia-Ukraine debate, and we recorded that about 10 days before it actually released, and I was hoping some horrible travesty would happen in the conflict right before our podcast came out to really date everything we had to say. Mm-hmm. But no, Putin was too much of a pussy to drop those nukes. As far as I know, not too many Ukrainians were genocided, so I don't know, I was a little bit disappointed. What about you? What did you think about the debate?
Well, I think it was about 2 days, maybe 3 days after we actually recorded it when Biden approved another $60 billion to send to them. And I think that was also maybe about 4 or 5 days after I hit a deal with my car, got kind of crunched up, and then insurance denied my claim to get it fixed. So basically, I'm seeing this literal yacht load of gold bars being shipped over to Zelensky so that he could, buy more women's clothes and dance on, Ukrainian Night Live or whatever that show that he's a comedian on is. While I'm sitting there driving a lopsided Flintstone-mobile, I got my feet on the concrete. I'm doing the old Fred Flintstone, and it was not most yabba dabba definitely. What's up, YouTube?
But it is a gay old time, just like the Flintstones.
Well, it does seem that way pretty often when I go out in public, yes.
Well, Eggy, we let the audience in a straw poll vote for who they think won the debate. Would you like to wager a guess as to who won between Florian and Christopher Anderson? If you recall, you gave the win to Chris, and I said that both countries should be nuked off the map. So it could go either way with the audience, though. What are you thinking?
Well, when I did the podcast, I felt that Chris was coming with the most facts and logic that I just couldn't deny. After the podcast was released, I saw a lot of comments saying, "Oh my goodness, I really subscribe to Vouch and Destiny, and I watch their podcasts, and so I know exactly what I'd say to say Ukraine's the best." They didn't really say anything in the comments, just saying that they would have won the debate. But let me know that it was probably more 50-50 than I would have thought based on what I was hearing. So, as an ignorant American capitalist pig, like Florian Himsler might have, described me as.
Did you say Florian Himsler?
Oh, I'm sorry, Himsel. It's as like I said, Hispanic. Sometimes we roll those R's. Sometimes you get a little extra.
I
R
think
in there.
Florian Himsler is appropriate. I think it fits him more than his actual name, or maybe Florian Hersel if he goes the way of the Horseshoe Crew. But the results are in, and who could have guessed? The winner with 71% of the vote was Christopher Anderson, arguing in favor of Russia. I don't know if that says something about our audience in particular or something about Florian's debating skills. Maybe both. Florian did not do too hot. I think he was a little disappointed in his performance that day.
When he did make some very impassioned pleas, like, "Oh wow, wow,
oh really? We're doing this now? Oh really?"
So, I did hear that out, but at the same time, I was kind of looking for facts and logic, just like my favorite YouTuber, Benjamin Shapiro. I got put onto him by his lovely sister, and, she married a woman, she married a guy. I guess he kind of looks a little woony. Married a guy who people say I resemble quite a bit, so I think
really?
They're, kindred spirits.
Wait, Abigail Shapiro's married to somebody who looks like you?
Yeah, his name's like Michael Roth or something like that.
Eggy, we might have to do a little bit of like a parent swap sort of thing. We might be able to switch you in for that man, and we can find out how milky those milkers really are.
Well, I will say that over my catalog of Abigail Shapiro-related music, which is probably about 12 or 13 releases over the last, 4 years.
You could release a full album of just you lusting over this woman, huh? I've only heard the one that I can recall.
Well, these were improvised songs, but I know when we did the stream on the main channel the other day, I did mod the good man named Steve, who has a collection of about 300 freestyles that I've done in a mega folder. So I think you get at least a few of the classics in there. But yeah, there was one that I did at Once Upon a Time where I said I was going to basically, pull that individual, Mr. Roth, whatever his name is, and pretty much, kind of hide him out, hide him to the side, and kind of, try to style myself a little more soy jack looking, so I'd look like him. And
trying to steal her away.
If Abigail could tell the difference.
So far, no luck.
I just haven't been to Israel lately, but you know what? If I
should we do
Trump,
a GoFundMe? Send Mumkey and Eggy to Israel. I would be down to clown. I tried to have people send me to Greenland because it has the highest suicide rate, and GoFundMe took down my campaign about 5 years ago. So now I was really suicidal after that. But speaking of suicide fuel, Eggy, I don't know if you know about this, but there are a few Mumkey Jones-based fan podcast offshoots out there. You've actually been a guest on one or maybe even both of them, and I wanted to talk about them today because there seems to be a bit of a Mumkey fan civil war brewing, and it is now turned into like a rap diss battle, and I figured it would be appropriate to talk to you about that because you are yourself, an avid fan of rap battle discourse. You want to talk about that a little bit? Why are you so into that kind of culture?
Well, basically, back when I was a youngster, I was something of a hooligan. I did a little bit of that, pickpocketing, and
you were pickpocketing people.
I was, selling that Mary Jane on the street corner.
I don't know,
and I was hustling on the block.
Now, maybe I don't know you that well, but I'm thinking these might not be true stories. Did you you were really living that hooligan lifestyle back then?
As a matter of fact, I was.
Wow, you're more based than I ever thought, Eggy.
Basically, I was just. I came right out that poverty. I used to, just basically leave school and leave home and go, to the block and do what it do. I started drinking and smoking when I was 11 years old, and I got
started off with the fireball. Speaking of which, I better start pouring these next shots.
Well, technically, I started drinking beer when I was 10 years old, but that was, sanctioned by the family. The 11 was when I started stealing alcohol.
Wow. What was your first beer, if you can remember?
It was probably like a Michelob or something really disgusting. I never liked drinking Michelob. I was really more of like Bud Light is piss water. I can get down with that. It's been 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Almost. About 15 seconds. I'm going to hold this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I was in the hip hop culture from young age because, since I could relate to being a youngster with, eating food stamps and all that, that's what type of time we were on. A little unemployment situation with the family.
Shot number 2.
Cheers. So anyways, I wasn't even really knowing about rap battles a whole lot, though. I knew about...
Reset the thing real quick. I don't think we're that good at math.
I knew disses because I knew, like, Nas, Ether, and I knew Hit 'Em Up. I knew I had some disses, but... Once I was in high school and YouTube came around, that's when I started hearing some of the actual rap diss battles, like King of the Dot and Smack DVD and all that stuff. So that's when I kind of got onto the rap battle type thing, and I would do, like, rap battles over, like, gaming headset mics, like playing FPS games and stuff. We would do it.
Playing the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2?
Mm-hmm. So that was kind of where I got my first, dipping of the toes, so to speak, in that regard. But yeah, it kind of just evolved from there.
Well, I think we might have hit the pinnacle of rap battle beefs today. And it's between a podcast called The Measly Few, which is what I call my fan base. I guess they decided to steal that name. Because as far as I can tell, from the 20 seconds of their show that I've listened to, they're not necessarily big fans of me. But I think they're all in my Discord server for some reason. And that show, typically, if they're lucky, they'll get maybe like 200 views an episode, which is why this is in the top 1% of podcasts of all time, because the average podcast is doing about as well as them. Mm. And the other show is the Garbage Mice. Mm. They decided the Trash Rats did not update enough, so they started their own version. And that show actually does pretty well. I think they get, like maybe 500 or 600 views an episode, which is not too shabby, all things considered. I think some episodes of Is It Kino struggle to hit that level. But I've been a guest on Garbage Mice, I think, once. And the only episodes I've watched all the way through were the ones that you were on. How many have you been on?
I think I've been on 2. They have been asking me to be on a couple episodes over the last month and a half, but they tend to do Sunday nights, and I tend to work Sunday evenings, and then it's like by the time I get done, usually they're done recording. So
yeah, and I'm usually at a Sunday mass at that time, so right. I can't get out of the church to go record a podcast. Did they offer you any money, or are these cheapskates making you work for free?
Well, as far as straight cash goes, I think I've been paid a greater commission for my episode than some other podcasts I've been on.
Oh, really? Yeah, I pay Eggy like $200 every time he's on this show, so that's why
I'm talking about the other episode, the other podcasts. I've done probably a couple dozen, one-off episodes on various podcasts over the years. But yes, if I recall correctly, they gave me somewhere in the ballpark of $20 to $25.
Holy shit!
For an episode, yeah.
I think they paid me, but I can't remember what it was, if anything.
I think I seem to recall you were up in the price. You were like saying $40 or something like that. High.
Well, because he offered Rusty Cage $40, and I'm not going to be upstood by Rusty Cage. So I said, $1 more than what you offered him, and at that point they stopped inviting me.
Maybe it was that that Tim Cast clout that Rusty has now really upped the feature price, so to speak.
Well, hey, that's my offer to all of you. If you have a podcast that gets 200 views, $50 my way, and I'll be a guest on it. But you have to play by my rules. It has to be at a time that I am not at church, because that takes up so much of my time lately.
That's right. They don't call him Mumkey for nothing. He's a monk. A person, very monk style.
Have you ever been invited onto the Measly Few podcast?
As I seem to recall, I got a message one time and it said, "Oh, Eggy, you should definitely be on the Measly Few." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, just let me know." And I don't think I was ever let.
They never let you know. Well,
I think they decided that I was too in cahoots with you, and that if I don't know. Now I haven't really listened to the Measly Few. You're telling me that it's a critical style podcast, that it's critical of you.
I have not listened to it. I've only listened to episodes that you're on, and you haven't been on that show, so I don't really know too much about them. I think the mistake both of these shows make is that they have not yet realized a quality podcast is approximately 1 hour long. I see
they go for 3 hours.
These motherfuckers posting like 2 hour long episodes. Like, nobody on earth wants to listen to that shit. You're not fucking Joe Rogan. You don't get that privilege to just go on. For people with no experience in entertainment, getting in a Discord call and just yammering about nothing for 2 hours is not what I'm going to waste my fucking time listening to.
You're not Eggy Eggman Rodriguez. You can't do a 12-hour-long stream that people dissect every single minute of.
That's right. There's a lot of critical analysis of every moment of Eggy's show. But the whole point of this is these two podcasts have had a little bit of a beef lately. Who is the superior Mumkey spin-off podcast fan show? And one of the hosts of the... How much time we got left?
4 more minutes.
Okay, we got plenty of time. One of the hosts of Garbage Mice has created a rap diss about the Measly Few. So I thought, you're a rap expert. You've made more raps than some people have. You've probably made more raps than Eminem has in his lifetime. Would that be fair to say?
Well, if you count the freestyles, I have about
I do count
16 to 17 albums at least worth of material that I've released.
Yeah, so I think you would be the right person to listen to this with, and we can have a critical analysis of this rap beef, and we'll see if who we think is winning so far in this. So this is on the Garbage Mice channel. It's called Trash Rats Killers Diss Track.
Okay, I like that. You got the English already. Does it Trash Rats Killers?
Okay, I'm gonna boost the volume a bit, and we'll take a listen.
The Measly Few, just a second. Who the hell are you? Just some troon and some guy sounding like he's got the flu? Let's be true. No excuse will let me cut you some slack for the fact that you might sound like some sticks of poo. Who have we here? An agent queer thinking he can attack the war-tested veterans who took out the trash rats. It would be cute, I'd be amused were it not for the fact that your smelly Asian ass looks like some creepy insult crap. The Syrian giga chat, army lad, prosperous crypto trader will pick you up and gently place you back in your cradle. Go home, kids, lay down, play a game, have a blast. Don't let the big boys have of making a bigger podcast.
Okay,
Right here, folks.
He was not afraid to pull any punches right there,
Trash rats killers. You know how it is. 6 foot tall.
That's right.
I've never heard a rap song that used the Rusty Cage background music as the beat, so I'm impressed by that, the fact that he actually made it work. But how was his flow? Because I don't know all these rap terminologies and all these analyses of rap. How did he do?
Well, you could hear, this wasn't one of these studio raps where it's got all these, they need 10 people to do one thing. It was just one man and his microphone. You could tell it was all
one man who I think he's from the Middle East and now living in Canada, so probably not well equipped to be a rapper, but
it was one take. He didn't stumble and have to redo. You could tell it was all done in one, because by the end of it, he was kind of having to strain a little bit because he did it all in one breath. But that just goes
he
to show
didn't bother editing and doing a second take and clipping it together.
It was all raw. It was pure passion, pure just destruction. He just couldn't. He couldn't give it that squeaky clean polish. He didn't have to fluff it up. He didn't have to put some makeup on it. He just went right in, went raw, unrelenting, BTFOing him. Speaking of which, you see there in your recommendations, screaming about Pepsi Nitro with Eggy. And that is so true. I remember that episode.
I scrolled down to the comments to see if the Measly Few had a response, but no, there's no comment from them. They were too cowardly to even post a comment. And as far as I know, they have not done a diss track in response. So almost certainly the Garbage Mice are the winners here, right?
Well, it is true. Usually, it's been 5 days, but you should be able to cook up a verse of reaction in 5 days. And he really came at him. He laid it out. He said that they're some booty bandits, and that he went right for some attacks of their background, where they come from. And he said that your country's whack. You're not Hartsy Protsy, but here's a clip of Hartsy Protsy.
Yeah,
it appears to be a child version of Hartsy Protsy.
No, that was his most recent video. That was Hartsy from like 2 weeks ago. He made a video where he made ramen and he cooked it in Monster Energy drink.
But this.
Hey, we're almost at 8:46.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This. Where's it? So no, I'm talking about this. That looks like Hartsy 10 years ago.
That looks like Cousin Joey's son.
There we go. 46 was my.
Yep, it's time.
Pull up.
Shot number 3.
Cheers.
But there was another clip of Hartsy in here that made me laugh.
Yeah.
So do we have any...
Random Candor does resemble Hartsy. Is that true? I've never seen this art before.
I have no idea what this clip of a toddler is supposed to be.
No, but if you go back to the beginning, it's got the Measly Few arts. A little bit more, a little further. Hold on. A little further. The back. There you go. So Random Candor, he does look like Hartsy in real life?
He's Indian, I believe. So he's the guy who's text scamming us. You got to reset the stopwatch. But yeah, I like the artwork that they have going on here. Anyway, so we've come to the end of that segment. We've decided the Garbage Mice won just based on the Measly Few's inability to rap back.
Well, listen, I'll give them this. Sometimes I think really the expiration date on rap diss responses is, if you could do it like in a day, that's what's up. Some rappers have hit it in like, less than a day, and that's when it's like really crazy. It's really the 7-day mark. When you hit that 7-day mark, that's pretty much when your rap coffin is being lowered down.
So they have 2 more
fried.
days left as of this recording.
But the thing of it is, I'll tell you like this. You've had some rappers who will take the full extent, they'll take 6 days, and they'll come back and they'll have some weak stuff. If you're taking that full time, if you're taking all the time that you can possibly take, you better be coming with major masterful production. These guys...
I mean, he clearly worked really hard. This probably took him 5 whole minutes to come up with.
That's why, when I went and I did, my Belle Delphine response, which she actually then re-dissed me in her track she did with Too Mad, but then people told me...
Did she really?
Yeah.
She talked about you? What the fuck?
She did in the first song, and then in the second song with Too Mad, she responded to me again. She said, because in my I said, all you fans are pedophiles, so they still getting off on you acting so childish. And then the one with Too Mad, she says, well, if all my fans are pedophiles, they give me millions of dollars and I'm all smiles. Or something like that.
Oh, shit. Wow, you're really beefing with the big dogs now.
So, but when I listened to it, I was thinking about, responding again. And people said basically, like, I can think about it. You did, she didn't respond right away. She did eventually have to respond. So basically, like, you made a mark on her, but... If I diss her again, she could respond to me again. That's just going to be basically putting more money in a nudie girl's pocket.
That's true.
So I said, all right, for all my MGTOW brothers, we're not going to fuel that fire.
And to be fair, she's a millionaire, and you're slumming it on the Treehouse podcast. So I think in terms of life, she might have won.
Did she get a free Nyactive Shooter T-shirt from Waifu Watchers? She wants to be everybody's waifu.
She probably could get one if she wanted to.
I don't know. Waifu Watchers, he went to Andrew Tate's mansion and he put a middle finger up to all the supermodel women and carried his waifu body pillow into the club.
I think it's safe to say if you've ever paid money to anybody on OnlyFans, you should commit suicide. You have failed as a human being, not just as a man, as a human, and you are beneath us in every conceivable way. I've seen every nude Belle Delphine has ever posted on 4chan, and I wasn't even trying to see them. People just fucking spam them all over the place for free. So, sorry, you wasted your money. If you would like to waste more money, patreon.com/Mumkey. Go check it out.
That's right.
Eggy, now that we're done talking about rap beefs, unless you wanted to... Did you have one you wanted to talk about that you said is like 12 years old? Because
well, since we're talking about my history in the rap game, it is true. So once I graduated from school with my 0.0 GPA, I graduated from my alternative school because
D's get degrees, Eggy.
That's right. They said if we don't get enough people graduating, we're going to lose our funding. So they gave me a pass-fail. I had a 0.0 GPA, and they gave me a pass-fail where I just basically had to sit at a desk for like 3 hours and just take like an exam for each, each class or each group, like science, math, history, whatever, and take like a 2 or 3 page pass fail on each of these. So I did that. I graduated, and I didn't want to go to college, so I'm like, I got a 0 GPA. College is not going to be any different. I'm not going. So I had my money. I saved up, sweeping sidewalks at $5 a weekend, and
How old were you when you had that job?
I started working when I was 13 years old, I think.
So you started drinking beer at age 10, stealing alcohol at 11,
yes,
selling weed at age 12, and then you got a real job at 13?
Hey, you know what? I got the opportunity to sweep sidewalks.
You lived a full life before you were even 20. That's crazy. But,
it's true.
Should we put the stopwatch up here so we can keep our eye on it?
Yeah, let me turn my DND on, because, I get all these gazillions of Instagram notifications. That way I won't cover it up. All right. Anyway... So I decided I was going to hop in the rap game, and I was General Mills, the 5-star general. I had the hat from Duck Down. It cost me like $50. I had to, buy it with my money from the gas station, but... General
Mills, that's pretty good. I like that.
So I got my MPC drum pad, and I got a little Casio keyboard, and I got, I got my laptop. I got a little flash memory brick or whatever to put my samples on so I could doom, doom, doom. And I hopped on Facebook and I added like 6,000 rappers on my personal Facebook that I had for since like 2006 because nobody ever added me when I didn't have any friends.
What age are you at this point? 13?
No, this is when I was 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Facebook didn't exist quite at that time. But
Facebook didn't exist when you were 13?
I joined it in 2007, and I think I was kind of early on it.
Wow, okay.
So I turned 16 in that year, so.
I feel like I had a MySpace at age 11, but
Yeah, I did
that was
too.
a little before Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, I had one. I had a MySpace in either 2003 or 2004, I know.
Speaking of MySpace, real quick, isn't it fucking crazy that there used to be a feature on the most popular social media where you could literally rank your friends from like best to worst?
That's right.
And like people would compete to be like each other's number one friend. I can't even imagine. How would Zoomers survive in this climate where you're literally ranking your friends from best to worst on like the top 8 on your fucking profile? I don't think the TikTok generation could handle that kind of pressure.
Well, now we have Instagram as close friends, and you can only put so many people on there, so we pretty much still have it. It's
I'm
just
guessing
not in your face.
I think I'm in 0 people's close friends on Instagram, but to be fair, I only follow 3 people. You, Rusty, and the account Biggs made for my cats that has not been updated in about 2 years.
I have one person in my close friends on Instagram. It's Arby's. I just do it to sometimes.
Do they have to approve you?
No.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
if Arby's ever looks at my story, they would see my close friends. I just do it sometimes if I want to like remind myself of something. I'll set a reminder. Like, I got to do this after work or whatever. But I'm not gonna remember. I know I'm gonna check Instagram at some point, so I'll put it as like close friends, and only Arby's can see. Like, remember to. So it's like a little memo thing that I can.
Wait,
do.
am I on your close friends on
No,
Instagram? What?
That's all I use it for. Is just a memo thing. So.
The fuck? How do I get on there? You gotta sign me up.
Well, I'll just add you. Well, do you even look at my regular stories? I don't think you even use.
I
this
check
shit, dude.
Instagram once a month, and it's just to see what Rusty's up to, and to see you screen capping my videos and saying, go watch this, which I appreciate. I think half my views come from your Instagram, so.
I get at least 100 clicks to the link in my bio from those posts among the like 500 likes I get.
Back to MySpace, do you recall how many people had you listed as their number one friend?
None, but we used to.
Same boat, 0 people had me.
Well, I can tell you though, the only thing I did on MySpace was, because this goes to a different era in my life, but my first, because I've been an online guy for over 17 years now. My Steam account just turned 17 this month. So it's October right now. I don't know if when will this be released, but October 4th.
This will be out on Thursday.
Yeah. October 4th was my 17-year Steam anniversary, and that was when I really was like got into being an online nuisance at that time.
Nuisance?
On Newgrounds. So
Wait, what'd you post on Newgrounds?
I was part of the Clock Crew, and then I was a part of the Star Syndicate. So we were like.
Are those both just internet gangs? It
pretty
sounds
much,
like?
yeah. We were crews, like Flash. Cartoon crews, that's how it was. They were basically like cartoon gangs, I guess, more or less. You have like, now it's different now. A few years ago you had the Groiper, when at that time there were just people that were like making their own like personalized, customized Pepe Frog pictures. Now it's like a political movement, but it basically was that, you had like people would take the clock or the star or whatever the base thing was, and then kind of make it like their own OC, and then like publish cartoons under it. But we used to fish MySpace accounts.
You would steal people's information and shit?
Yeah, we would. We ran whole operations where we had fake dummy landing pages of MySpace accounts.
You were a genuine menace back in the day.
We would amass bulk mailing lists, and we would mass mail these phishing pages. My little my shaving sticker Band-Aid on my lip fell off. All right, there we go. 846.
Shout out George Floyd.
That's right. No, so we fished a lot of MySpaces. It was good stuff. We would go. You would you'd get a chick's page, and then you would like send all her friends like messages that you like suck some guy's dick. And then we would. That's the thing was. This is how you do it. It's subtle. You would log in. You would just. You didn't even have to change the password or anything like that. You just go in. You send it off at like 11 o'clock at night, because that's when school kids would be asleep. And you'd wake up and you'd keep that page bookmarked, and you would just wait for the shitstorm, because then like all these kids would go to school. I mean, listen, it looks a little weird looking back at it 20 years later. You're probably thinking that I'm a sicko or something. But listen, I was a kid at the time. It was some funny shit. And we watched, all these school kids freak out at each other. But yeah, that was my main thing on MySpace. We would also load pop-up generators into our MySpace. But that was another thing. If you hack somebody and you really didn't like them, you would inject a pop-up generator into their profile. So anyone that clicked on it would be like, and it would crash your computer.
It'd be like when you win in solitaire on the computer and all the fucking deck of cards come flying up at you.
Yep. So those are pretty much my main uses of MySpace. I also, one time when I was in junior high, this is a story that I tell every now and then, I had my MySpace set up, and it said sexual orientation, straight, bisexual, whatever. And I thought bisexual meant that you liked dating two girls at the same time.
That's right.
So I put it as bisexual, and I thought I was so, like, I was like the biggest badass. I used to, like, I would grease my hair back. I had the same hairline as I do right now when I was 11 years old, by the way. I would grease my hair back, and I wore sunglasses in school, and I would wear, like, a leather jacket and, like, these, like, big leather boots. So I thought I was really cool.
That does sound cool.
Yeah, I came into social studies, after I set my account as bisexual, because I thought that meant that, people would think that I got two girls at the same time, and they'd think I'm, like, super badass. And everyone was like, hey, Toby's gay! Look, he's gay! Hey, everybody, go look at his MySpace. He's gay for gay people.
Hey, bi is very distinctive from gay, so that just shows their ignorance.
This
really
was 2003, so it is what it is.
It was a better time.
So anyways, yeah.
So when did you change it back to being just hetero?
Well, I turned it into like something of a proto meme page, because I wouldn't talk to anybody from school, but I talked to people from Newgrounds. So I would like take like the Newgrounds memes and like put it in my MySpace, so people thought I was disturbed and deranged and like totally autistic, and I wasn't even diagnosed.
They're
yet.
not wrong. So at least you were being fair and accurate about yourself.
Yeah, but anyway, so then back to the whole Facebook thing. Yeah, I added a bunch of rappers on Facebook, and I was trying to figure out how you're gonna make money off this rap stuff, which even now still, if I broke it down, I make all my money off freestyling on streams. I make some money off of actual music streaming streams, but so I was trying to make money off rap on there, and it wasn't going anywhere. But I ran into some guys. I ran into they had some name for their group, and I don't even remember it now. But it was Mark D's, Powder, Lord Luss, some other guy who worked at Food Lion, but I don't remember what his rap name even was.
A rapper who worked at Food Lion?
Sean Strange, and the Snow Goons. It was like this whole big, New York, New Jersey, kind of like East Coast, from like north to south East Coast, underground rap thing going on. And they all had, it was this era, it was this 2010 era where like all the rappers were posting like Alex Jones videos from YouTube. They'd be like, Illuminati trying to control my mind, yeah, New World Order, I can see him come from behind.
When did Alex
trying
Jones,
to put microchips in my skin.
When did he get kicked off of YouTube? Was that like 2015?
Something like that, yeah. No, but in 2010, for real, like all these, like that was the big thing in the underground, was like, I hate Illuminati and New World Order, yeah. Fuck the government, I'll give them a disorder. And because at that time, that was when, they really hated like Gucci Mane, and they hated like anything that was they considered like dumbed down. They wanted to come in with a lyrical, spiritual, miracle rap.
You don't think saying Gucci Gang 100 times is lyrical genius?
Well, they certainly didn't think so.
It sounds like I would agree with a lot of their beliefs and politics just based on what you're saying so far.
Well, it is true. In 2012, before I got banned from Facebook, when I would post the 4chan memes, a lot of these rappers would click like on it and get a laugh out of it, but...
Have you collabed with any of these people you added as a young man?
No, I see. At the time, I wasn't really confident on the mic yet, so I would just do beats, and nobody ever really...
You made your own beats back then.
Yeah, that was my thing. Yeah, I had all my... like my drum kit, my keyboard and stuff.
Do you still do that to this day? Because I feel like you just... No, you just
use other people's beats?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it was sort of like I did it, I kind of got a little demoralized about it, then I went back to just listening to it and then when I was in college, that's when Chief Keef came out, so I would sit on Ventrilo and I would do like Chief Keef freestyles, kind of, well, it was not really freestyle, but it was very, I would just kind of like say the same line over and over again, like over a beat, like on Ventrilo, and everybody thought it was pretty funny, and then I kind of came into... doing, trying to rap and stuff with Ugly Gang in 2015 when I came out with that. And
that's when you started doing raps, was in 2015?
That's when I started like really recording myself rapping, yeah. And I started freestyling in 2019, I think. So I got kind of at a good level, all things considered, in a kind of a short amount of time. But
now, I know creative people don't like this question, but when you're doing a freestyle, like, where does it come from? Like, how do you, if you're coming up with a whole song and you're rhyming it and you're being consistently coherent with everything you're saying, what the fuck is the mindset behind that? How do you even get the creativity to do that for an entire song? Because I can't even imagine freestyling a rap that actually makes sense.
Well, basically, like the first part is kind of getting them with the tempo, because then you're gonna, it's sort of like if you see people all like walking in a certain 1 2 1 2 1 2. At least for me, it's like, all right, that's where you're kind of getting the. And if you do it a lot, you kind of get familiar with like different patterns, because there's sometimes where you'll get like thrown a curveball, but you kind of get that, so you know how you should speak and how you'll know kind of how many syllables you can fit appropriately in a certain time frame, because you could have a measure that's going like boom, 1 2 3 1 2 3, and you could fit a "What is up, everybody? How you doing today?" And like you could have like a 1 second and a 2 second where it's like one's like different than this one, and so you can have a little bit of flexibility as long as you're doing what you need to do in these spaces and it makes sense. So you get a little bit of flexibility there. And then it's kind of just, usually when I freestyle on a stream, it'll be something relevant to what we're just watching. So we just reacted to a certain video. So now I have some major key points. Like if you're doing a thesis or whatever, you have major key points. This freestyle will not have major key points because I took major key things away from a video I just watched. So that's going to give me something to work with. And then you have, when you're freestyling, there's things called like time buyers, where during some freestyles that you see on these radio shows, they'll be like, yeah, yeah. And for me, it'll be like something along the lines of,
fuck Jannies, I hate women.
I might say something like, I, and then and I do, or whatever, like, there'll be
basically
things,
filler shit, like people who say when they're giving a speech.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's kind of, it's like filler, but it might appropriately lead to what you're about to say, and as long as it's gonna make sense and it keeps on, people will give you more credit when you go without it, but you could still make a good freestyle if you have some of that in there. And then sometimes too, like lately, Kanye's been a big topic of discussion. So like
I wonder
Kanye
why.
West.
Why's he been in the news?
I guess I don't watch the news enough to know, but on a Kanye beat, you could be like, and then I went and named them. They put me in the paper. I lift up the shot with Jammy. Yeah, I know that my game is feel me. So you could have like that thing in between where you're like, yeah, what's up? It's your boy Jay-Z. Re-inhabit E-double-G. Woo, Jimmy now he's on a choking spree. 8:46, that is what the timing be.
Is that shot 4 or 5? I've lost track. I think I'm actually starting to get a little fucked.
Well, we started with 1 and it's been 4, so I think it's our 5th shot.
Okay, so probably, 3 more to go for this fucking podcast. But wait, so we've been talking about your history with rap, but we haven't gotten into your history with rap beefs. Have you had any famous beefs with other rappers that really had a good story arc?
No, not that I can really think of.
So if you're an aspiring white rapper out there and you want to challenge Eggy, go for it. He's waiting for his first challenge, I think.
This stream, I'm not sure if it's still around or where it's at. One time a guy paid me $25. He wrote a rap diss against me, but he was not a rapper. So he paid me $25 to rap it myself and diss
shit
myself.
On yourself. What kind of stuff did he put in the lyrics?
It was pretty good. It was like, whole personality, you don't get pussy. Never leave the basement and you get no money. And you're fat and you look like a hideous mutant. Why would any woman ever see you not want to shoot it? Or whatever.
Did you do it for $25?
Oh, it was like a 5-minute song, yeah.
Wow.
He really was. And it was like, he really, it was like, it was very, like, what I just said right there is very paraphrased or whatever, very basic. It was actually
in the
really,
spirit of what he had to say.
Yeah, it was really intricate and like really, this guy had obviously been watching me for a long time and really broke down like everything, and I was like, damn, that was extremely good diss track.
Wow, you just dismantled my entire personality and hurt me, deep down in my soul. But hey, it's $25.
Well, I said, even more than that, I respected the art. I respected that he put it together properly because he had a certain beat for it. Like, he used like a famous beat. I can't remember what it was.
Did you actually make the song?
Well, I did it on my stream, whatever. He basically said, it's this beat. I wasn't gonna, I was going into it blind, so to speak. So I heard the beat, and so I knew how it was. I knew how the rhythm was supposed to be, but it was all like fresh. It was fresh dissing to myself. It was fresh burns, fresh owns being laid upon myself. So I, it had a sting to it. Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Did you get off the stream and start crying because he kicked you down in your soul really hard?
Nope. The only time that I ever remember that happening was that one stream last year where I ended up in my yard at like 7 a.m. with my clothes off because there was a guy who I met up with in real life. Like, he had like driven across the country to like see me in real life one time. And then it turned out that he dated a girl who rejected me in high school, and he like sent me like old pictures of them together.
What?
And then he actually had also had some kind of relationship with a girl who I met off 4chan.
What the fuck? So he's exclusively dating women that you used to be into. That's kind of fucked.
Not exactly.
Who's the real loser there? Like, that guy's a fucking freak.
It wasn't. I don't know if it. Well, I guess it was kind of. How should I say it? I wasn't anybody online with the one, we were just a couple years out of high school maybe when that happened, but yeah, he's like...
But still, to exclusively date, like, Eggy's ex-simps or whatever the fuck, like, that is a next level creepy, I think.
I think it was just a coincidence as far as I know.
Really?
I think so.
That he dated 2 girls who used to be involved with? Yeah. I don't know. That's less of a pattern and more of like a creepy stalker who wants to, I guess, get your sloppy seconds.
In any case, me and that guy, we just recorded a song a couple months ago, so we healed the bridge.
Hopefully he's not watching this show. Probably not. Most people don't.
That's just something that I can't remember where we started with. Anyways, but yeah, that was a funny coincidence.
So, is there a rap beef in particular you wanted to evaluate, or should we move on to some Patreon questions?
Let me see. What's been going... I mean, basically greatest rap beefs of all time. I would say, Nas and Jay-Z, Tupac and Biggie, Gucci and Jeezy.
See, right now, you might as well be speaking a foreign language. I don't know anything about any of these people. What is the most exciting one that you can red pill me on? Well, I don't know any of this history.
See, I could talk about, speaking of what's current right now, you have, KTA versus ATK.
Say that again. What are their names?
KTA versus ATK.
Their names are just letters.
No, it stands for Kill Them All versus Ace's Top Killers. It's a Florida thing.
So, two people who love killing, basically.
Yeah, basically, long story short is they had, Who I Smoke. It was pretty popular last year. Yeah, basically, one of the gangs, they went and dressed up in like really white people clothes. No, they're like at a golf cart. They're at a golf course, like in a golf cart, like with violent music playing, and they're like hanging off the golf cart, like doing this with their hands.
Wearing like a pink polo shirt.
Like unironically, yeah, like visors and stuff. And then the response to that, a guy went to the graves of his enemies and danced on their graves. He had a big printout of the news report of them being murdered, and he danced around on their graves, saying that he loves that they're dead.
Now, I'm not saying I hope Susan Wojcicki dies soon, but when she does die, you'll see me and Eggy dancing on that grave, guaranteed.
Speaking of which, I did do freestyles to both of those beats when they came out at that time, too.
Stole their music and rapped over
I'm pretty sure I did talk about Janies and Snoozin' a little bit.
Snoozin'.
Snoozing. Oh,
wait,
she's losing.
So how did this rap beef between the two acronyms go? Who won?
Still ongoing. Still a lot of their people dead and doing life sentences in prison. So of course, it's very negative.
Are they releasing new music from prison?
I'm not sure if probably they are, but I'm not sure if those ones in particular are.
Wow, we've almost gone through over half of this bottle, and I'm dripping on the microphone. Oops. My bad.
Well, that's because it came out of the freezer, so that's just condensation.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's why I'm talking about Gucci, Jeezy, Biggie, Tupac, and Nas and Jay-Z. That's like that's like all time, That had the energy. They didn't have to go right for the, dancing on your grave. They had that lyrical substance that made you feel that without having to do that, So that's why I say they're up there in like the top beefs.
Well, what is like? Is the beef just releasing music about each other and dancing on their graves, or what? Like, what am I missing out on here?
Well, if we're talking about this in particular, and it also ties into, they say Chicago drill kind of started it.
Drill from Facebook?
No, drill is a genre.
Not Facebook, Twitter.
Drill is a genre of rap music that revolves specifically around killing people.
Why is it called drill?
Because doing a drill is like slang for killing somebody.
Okay.
So right now, there's a new Florida style drill music. It lifts heavily from Chicago style, which is a little more kind of almost like Atlanta style, where it's sort of like slow, a little slower tempo and kind of like heavy on the bass. Now there's New York drill is a new offshoot, which borrows from a UK, London, British offshoot of drill music, where it's more like high tempo.
So it's just about the pacing of the music?
Yeah, it's a couple different styles. They both have that same general theme about a lot of killing. So like actually one of the New York State politicians stopped a concert from happening because
what?
He said that too many people were getting killed over the music. So yeah,
was that Chris Christie? He's shutting down the bridge and now he's shutting down the music.
I forget who it was, but it was one of the the mayor of New York City or something like that. He came out and he
De
stopped.
Blasio, that motherfucker!
Or maybe it was the governor. I don't know. It was an African American man, so I don't know the politician. I just remember I follow a lot of the rap vlog channels, so that's where I was keeping up on him with.
So, in your opinion, with the two acronym gangs, which one is the winner here? Who's making the better rap songs?
Well, I'm kind of personally. I think I kind of, at first, like the ATK music, coming out of the ATK camp, like Ace, he really has some really good soulful music, some really deep stuff, and a lot of deep pain music, and I like that. But Fulio, he had that tape with Zaytoven. I think it's underrated.
Zaytoven? That's his name? Okay.
Yeah, they did.
I think we're ready for shot number 8.
And then Fulio linked up with, he was down in DFW, he linked up with Casino World, and so it's a little hard, I don't really pick sides. I think both sides had a lot of talented artists, and it's tragic about what's going on, but they both kind of have a lane, and I think they both put out good music and had good projects, so it's hard for me to choose on that beef.
So nobody's winning so far. So far it's
Listen, when
evenly
people,
matched.
When innocent lives in these streets are being taken, nobody wins.
Speaking of nobody winning, I think this fireball's starting to really kick in a little bit, Eggy. Maybe we should move on to some Patreon questions before I really embarrass myself on my own podcast.
Yeah, I think your hair is looking a little more voluminous than it was 40 minutes ago.
I don't give a fuck! I'll go full fucking coconut head from Ned's Declassified. I don't even care anymore.
That's right.
Willie the Warden wants to know, what scared the shit out of you as a kid? Mine was the Brian Magic Mushroom episode of Family Guy that scared me so much I puked outside from it. I've been doing a Family Guy rewatch lately, and I watched that episode about a couple of weeks ago. I didn't think it was scary. I thought it was a subpar depiction of what it's like to be on magic mushrooms, but if it scared you, I guess that makes sense as a child. But Eggy, what media scared you as a young kid?
Funny story. I was scared to death of Barney the dinosaur and Sesame Street.
Why? What's wrong with them?
I don't know. They just fucking scared me. I was a child that didn't really follow the rules. So my mother, she bought a Big Bird plush and a Barney the dinosaur plush, and she would put them in certain areas of my grandparents' house where we lived, and I would just not even go to that side of the house. I'm
gonna have to ask my mom to send me this photo, but there's a photo of me like at age 2 or 3 hugging a Barney toy. And I was the opposite of you. He was my inspiration. He kept me going. He was my safety blanket. But if he was scaring you, that might be like a dinosaur phobia that you have going on.
That's true, and they say birds are related to dinosaurs, so...
Is that why you're scared of birds?
Maybe, that could be. No, I had, like, nightmares about Big Bird and Elmo, like, breaking into my house when I was a little kid. I don't know, I just did. Like, I literally had nightmares that they were, like, in my house and, like, hiding. Like I would dream I'm, like, 5 years old, and I'm having a dream of, like, Big Bird's, like, hiding in the closet, waiting for me to walk by, and then he'd, like, jump out, like a jump scare.
I'm trying to think of what scared me as a young kid, and this might be horrible to say, but the only thing I could think of was when I was a young boy, I had a nightmare about drowning in a septic tank.
Damn.
And then when I was like 13, 14, I would always, Triflers style, if you've read the Triflers, after every early dismissal on Wednesdays, we would go to my friend Chum's house and go down to his basement and watch just random videos on the internet. And there's a video...
Of the guy in the septic tank?
Yeah, the septic tank guy. And it's like, holy shit, what a fucking freak!
Yeah, we just rewatched, I think it's on Daily Motion or something. They still got one saved. Somebody sent me one of the videos again that we rewatched it on the stream not that long ago.
In case you don't know, there's a guy who would film himself, like, diving, like dumpster diving into septic tanks full of shit and piss. And then he would upload the video. What is the purpose of that?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, I feel like with those, it's kind of, no pun intended, but those ones to me, they were saturated. When you watch Two Girls, One Cup, it's like...
That's a quality product.
It's a deep contrast. You have like all normality and then the filth and depravity. When you these ones, it's like there's no lead in. It's just like you're hitting critical mass on the filth and depravity so quickly that it's like a disconnect mentally for me to where it doesn't really actually upset me.
Yeah, well, it upsets me greatly, so I guess my greatest fear as a child is drowning in shit and piss. Joe Biden, too, responded to Willie and said, I saw that episode and got a boner.
At Lois? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Tombo wants to know, hey, Mumkey, do you think the Republicans will kick ass in the midterms this year? Who is currently winning? Because Biden is president. Senate, I think, is, like, tied? I don't know. In the House is...
I barely even know who the president is, so...
I feel like it's always a pendulum swinging back and forth, and whoever is currently behind ends up winning in the midterms. So, I would have to assume the Republicans are going to take the advantage. And this will be coming out like 3 days before the election, so maybe we will be making some real prophetic predictions here. What about, are you going to vote in the midterm elections, Eggy?
I vote every midterms because here's the very important thing, and all you guys do need to vote. I'm going to tell you like this. I'm not Instagram, I'm not Snapchat, but let me tell you like this. Every 2 years, I got to vote because there's a thing on the sheet. It says, do you want to continue funding schools? And I always vote no every year. Now, I think they're still getting money. We're still working on it, but... I walk out so proudly. I don't even know who any of the other people are. I always vote. If it's a man, I'll vote for a man. If it's a woman, then I might write in myself, Yeah. You have like a Democrat man and a Republican woman, and I'm like, really, this is,
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's why I bring a quarter to flip when I'm in the booth. Yeah. But as long as I get to that question that says, are you going to fund schools? I just dig the fucking pen like as deep into the paper as I can and X out that no.
Well, I'm a big fan of KDs in Call of Duty, your kill-death ratio. And as somebody who in 2016 voted for Trump, I currently have a 100% KD as in terms of electing politicians. And I think I'm good. Like, I'll keep the 100% accuracy rate. I'll never vote again in my entire life. And I'll say every single person I've ever voted for literally won their election.
See, you're young enough. You're not an old man like me.
27 compared to 30?
Well, see, you didn't have to go through the 2008 and 2012 situations.
Did you vote back then?
Well, no, but I campaigned and canvassed for Ron Paul in 2008 and Gary Johnson in 2012. I did vote for Gary Johnson. I remember because in my hometown, there's a contest they have every year where the local bakery, they have like 500 cookies for the Republican candidate and like 500 cookie, whatever it is. I don't know what the exact number, but something like that. And so my family, my whole family, my whole life has been... as far Democrat as you can go, so they all went to buy their Obama cookies that year, and I bought a Mitt Romney cookie, And they were very disappointed, and I'm like, listen, Obama, he's trying to take the guns, and so is Mitt Romney. I'm voting Gary Johnson, but you know what? He had the binders of women, and I'm trying to have some too. So, Obama, listen, some people have different theories on what's in his binders, not so much women, but anyhow.
Eggy, I have to go piss really bad after all this drinking. Do you think you could freestyle while I'm in the bathroom?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Well, let's pull up a quick beat. Oh my goodness, it's so live. So unfiltered, YouTube. Where's that? Chrome browser. Oh my goodness, Chrome browser. Type beat. Uploaded today. Let's look for some super G'd out. Ooh, oh my goodness, my man Lethal Needle. We did a song together. Do I even have? Where do I put my headphones at? These are the earbuds. Oh, these headphones will work. Boom bap. Talking about this is what we were on. Ooh. Lethal Needle, baby. Treehouse business, you know what I'm saying? All that. Let's go. Ooh. Matter of fact, the beat is called Shark Tank. What I watch on Jimmy's couch all season, you think that we would get bored of it, but we're having the television screen lit 24/7. We're really into this. Our dopamine receptors are getting bliss off this fireball whiskey, and we don't get frisky. See, it's MGTOW's red pill for life. We're in the treehouse, and it's men only. A boys only club pillow fort. You know that I feel a fat man just like Nick Rochefort, and I'm having good sense too. No tactical soap, but my man Jason, yeah, we're getting men's too. Ooh, appreciate him. Sometimes he double G, they hate him, but I'm out here preaching to the congregation in this treehouse situation. I'm feeling elated, no elote. Yeah, they say I'm coming in corny type of ways, but I got spice though. Yes, E-Dub so nice though. Got that mayo, yeah, I'm a mayo man, and I'm gonna take flight though on all of these women all night though, because I'm too nervous. Yeah, I'm with the Secret Service, plural, men. They could not match me, they wanna dispatch me. Yes, they wanna kill me like 50 Cent done told you, my man Curtis. I feel like Curtis, what's his name? The man who made that NRX claim. Woo! Neo reactionary. It's Halloween, I'm Neo scary. Yeah, I'm trying to be a Matrix escaping. Woo! I know that I'm gonna become a landscaper like my man Biggs. You know that we pull trigs if they wanna play. No, sorry, we ain't going for that. We're rage quitting like my man Wings of Redemption. You know that we're breaking out of the system. Woo! We're not logging in. No, we're out here in public and we're jogging with men like Hal in that particular episode of Malcolm in the Middle with the power lifters. You know that I'm trying to get that money like a power grifter, but I'm a power washer. Ooh. Yeah, I make your daughter more wetter than a power washer that's malfunctioning and leaking on the carpets. OMG, who is this? It's my man, he out here sparking this. He's my hyper. Yeah, we get hyper like it's caffeine, but we're sipping on that fireball by the liter. Know what I mean? Yeah, it's the 1 liter. I could have bought the 175 for $5 more from Costco, but that shit would have cost mo, and I'm really a boss.
We're
though.
way
I'm
over
feeling like
time.
Mo.
We gotta take some shots.
I'm a stooge. We need to get that liquor system, my dudes. Ooh, fill up the anchor shot. Ooh. Let me see, that's about where it ought to be. Let me get a little bit up in the shot. For me, you got the road signs on this thing. Ooh, from Santiago, I don't know, but shout out to my man Santiago for the taco. You know that we make it proper with all of that spice popper. Ooh, yeah. But Asians, we got MSG. Yeah, the situation, I'm always addressing like it was the president of the nation. The state of the YouTube was better than the state of the union. You know that we're united on the Treehouse comments. Make sure you're smashing the like and subscribing. We're doing this day and night, son. Woo. Now let me get this little sip, right, son? Yeah, shout out to that man E-double-G, white son, that's me. That's me, you see me all up on your screen. Now I'm about to imbibe this little bit of concoction. Woo. Speaking of Sheen on the planet, when's that TV Testers episode? God damn it. Do you have it?
Now I should talk about this. We did a TV Testers episode back in January, so literally 11 months ago. And we watched the Patrick Star Show and we watched Planet Sheen. And I edited half of the video. And I went back to edit the other half. And I realized I somehow accidentally deleted all of the footage from my computer. So it no longer exists in any form. But if you go to the Mumkey Mafioso channel, you can see a 30-second clip of Eggy relating to the character of Sheen. But I was genuinely heartbroken and upset that I accidentally deleted that from my computer. We You know, we probably would have had a pretty good video out of that, but you know, it's
the
gone
important
now.
thing is that we get to watch the most Kino episode of I Love God of all time, where atheists finally go on the Ben Shapiro show and get some real facts and logic in their life.
Anyway, to end this episode, there was a comment that was posted on our Wings of Redemption video that I would like to respond to if I can find it.
While he looks that up, Artillery said, "Will I get a live reaction to the upcoming diss?" Well, it done came and went, and yeah, so there you go. When are Jimmy and Eggy going back to the gym? We still have time. It could happen. There's nothing planned at the moment, but it certainly could happen.
Should we go back this evening?
Should we go drive right now?
Yeah.
This was just apple cider, actually, guys. So, you know, Jimmy looking sweaty and disheveled. That's just because, you know, that's my
my everyday
radiating
life.
body heat. Yeah. 300 pounds of pure active shooter up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, buddy.
So if you might have seen it, it's got about 20,000 views. You might be one of those lucky viewers. But recently, Eggy and I posted our video of Wings of Redemption and Mumkey Jones hanging out, chilling out, maxing all, cool and all. And most
Lasagna outside of 100 feet from a school like Boogie.
That's
Anyway.
right. Most of the comments were very supportive of the video. But here's a comment that I wanted to read on the podcast and give Eggy an opportunity to respond to while we're both wasted and hanging out. This comment is from The Night Star, and I'm guessing they will not be listening to this podcast. They will not have an opportunity to defend themselves.
That's right.
This is like 4 paragraphs, Eggy. So
Okay.
at any point, interrupt me and give me, you know, your thoughts on what they're saying.
Okay.
But of all the comments, everybody was very supportive. They thought the video was very funny. A few people even thought it was tasteful. Like most Wings of Redemption troll channels, they like to really shit on him and
They like to take Kelly out behind the shed for a little bit of meat slap.
right. But as they say, you know, imitation is the highest form of flattery, and I think that's how you could define our videos when Eggy likes to impersonate a lol cow. You know, it's really from a form of flattery. We appreciate what they bring to the world. And we don't want them to suffer. We want them to continue giving us delicious milk. And Nightstar does not seem to understand that. So
Okay.
This comment says, sigh. So I guess I'm the only person then who thinks this is actually really unfunny, shameful, unfairly mean-spirited, aggressively unpleasant, sad, pathetic, and kind of actually disgusting and just plain wrong. And just a really petty, awful, and demeaning, gross kind of video for a person to even make.
All right, hold on. Let me pause you there for 1 second. See, you're an English graduate. You're a PhD,
That's
and I
right.
know a little something about the pen game myself. When you have to go to dictionary.com and just get all the synonyms for the word,
Thesaurus.com.
it probably sounds really smart to a 12-year-old. When you're an adult, you're supposed to actually make your things a little more precise. You don't just go copy-paste every synonym from thesaurus.com. It just makes you look like kind of a dumb person. All right, continue.
Also, why is he so offended on behalf of Wings? Is this Wings' alt account getting offended on his behalf? Because if you watch the 30-minute video, we do not even lay into Wings that hard. You are giving a genuine impression of his personality. It's not even trying to make fake accusations against him. It's just genuinely you're repeating word for word things he has said before. I think he might be missing that detail. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'll be the sole voice of reason in a sea of depraved, guffawing jackasses and somehow get seen as the bad guy and buzzkill here. Why not? I mean, wow, good for you. I guess you can just continue to be proud of being another contributor of the lowest common denominator.
Happy to do that, by the way. Continue.
Adding to the disgusting culture of self-jerking off to the online bullying and harassment of a sad, miserable individual.
Hey, listen, let me pause there real quick. It's kind of like how King Cobra told me that British people can say the F-A double...
Faggot?
Yeah, they can say that. You can say that word that because he's 80% British. Listen, you know...
it's a bundle of sticks. What's so offensive about that?
When we did the King Cobra video, somebody sent me a message and said, you do realize that you're lower than King Cobra, correct? And I said, you're damn right. So basically...
How are you lower than King Cobra? What was their justification?
They said that because I'm the king of Ein Seal, the evil group that gets no pussy. It makes me the most chudly chud. And I said, you know what? All right. You know, that means... It's kind of like, you know, gay people can, you know, do things to each other or whatever. If I'm a fat guy that people laugh at on the internet, that means I can say things about fat people that people laugh at on the internet, and I don't feel bad about it. All right, continue.
Miserable individual already by adding more gasoline piss to a pathetic trash fire to appease the petty delight of chortling, sickening, unnecessary internet degenerates who live for no higher ambition.
I love doing that, by the way.
Then to obsessively scrap the lowest... sleaze of humanity's scum nuggets of life off the grease trap of YouTube drama.
I love doing that, by the way.
To soothe their own pain by throwing stones from their own glass houses with no self-reflection.
I love doing that, by the way.
Yeah, sorry for not seeing the apparent humor value of continuing to wallow in the deplorability, unethical depravity of humanity's garbage by lowering yourself to a depth miles lower than what you callously mock. What a thing to do with your life. What a noble endeavor to put this much effort into. Enjoy the money and ad revenue you'll no doubt make for yourself from this kind of bottom-feeding sleaze.
I do, by the way. Thank you.
By the cash you'll garner from all the views by you at least a few only moderately stale Subway sandwiches.
Hey, with extra sauce and every sauce, by the way. Shout out to all my fellow chuds. That's right.
Hey, pour some more shots because we're about to hit the next 8-minute 47 or 46-second mark.
All right, so that means I think this is our 9th shot.
Too many, way too many.
In an hour.
It will be the final one because this podcast is almost over. But my question is, how could anybody watch that video and have that response? I feel like we gave a genuine, like, it's the goal we have when we do these lolcow food videos is not to humiliate the people, but to give a genuine representation of what it would be like if I were to meet up with these people in real life and do a video with them. We're not trying to humiliate them, we're trying to be authentic. And I don't think you or me, I don't think even the editor did anything that is reprimanding Wings of Redemption. I think it was just a genuine personality reflection, and I think it's time for our final shot, Eggy.
That's right. Down the hatch. So, yeah, to be honest, you know, people, funny thing is, I probably shouldn't even say this because I got some of the Wings quote-unquote trolls and Cobra quote-unquote trolls channels that when I did these representations of them, that they were like, oh yeah, stick it to them. I mean, as a, you know, unhealthy man who spent a lot of time playing video games and drinking in my basement for the last 5 years and broadcasting it to the internet, you know, for hundreds of hours, I kind of feel where these guys are coming from time to time, you know, like, fuck Sicko's YouTube, but, you know, no love for a sicko, but at the same time, you know, it's like, and yeah, I did have those times before when, I was something of a person who people could, you know, maybe a little bit less self-aware, I guess. You know, I was posting where I was at every single day and just saying fuck the trolls, etc. Until I kind of, you know, realized how this shit goes and I learned how to rock and roll with it. So I don't stand on any pedestal to, you know, downvote Wings or Cobra. You know, I fuck sickos, and if they're on any sicko shit, I can't rock with that, but on some basic level of a downtrodden man who just grudges and trudges through piles of shit every day to make those DoorDash orders meet so I can continue enjoying 9 shots of Fireball on the podcast and doing Fortnite dances in the street until the police tackle me. You know, there's a little bit of a feeling there. I feel a little bit for some of these individuals. I'm never going to give them money or ever support sicko shit, but...
Hey, I'll say this! Me and Biggs, big fans of Wings of Redemption, I donated $5 to Wings and said, shout out to my friend Biggs. and Wings thought I was referring to him. He thought I was trolling him. No, I genuinely gave him a real donation, gave him my own hard-earned money. And just to be clear, I think Eggy and I are both genuine fans of both King Cobra and Wings of Redemption.
I will say the amount we watch of these individuals, I think it certainly has to say that we are.
In the last 3 years of my life, not a single day has gone by that I have not watched content about either of those people. God praise Lummox and all these other people who make little compilations of their streams. But every single day of my life, I've watched content featuring those people, so I have to be a genuine fan. And if Wings of Redemption or King Cobra stopped streaming, my life would be impacted in a harsh way. So I'm a genuine fan. I'm not trying to shit on these people.
And see, I
don't see myself as greater than those people. I liked what they put out onto the internet, genuinely.
I want to say this too, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, if the next time I get banned or whatever, if I just stop doing it or whatever, it's no big deal. But some people told me there was a guy who just messaged me recently who, he just beat cancer, and he's like, every day when I was in the hospital, I was, I'd go through, watch a couple hours of the latest Eggy stream archive, and that's what kept me going. I think that's why I survived. And, I see it as just like, I'm just some kind of, goofy guy dancing around and drinking or whatever. But, just like how I feel, if I didn't have some Kino on that tube when I'm doing my work commute or I'm on my lunch break, whatever the case might be, I would be an emptier man without it. And we've lost a lot of good memers over the years, that have gone their different ways. And so some of us, we got to keep pushing with them things for real.
That's right. And I think that brings us to the end of this 20th episode spectacular of the Simian Jimmy Treehouse podcast.
I think it was a really good idea to do 9 shots of liquor in this hour.
The drunken stupor episode. We've literally finished an entire bottle of fucking Fireball.
It's a good thing I bought more just in case.
So, Eggy, do you have anything you want to plug? Anybody you want to hug? Anything you want to shrug?
Well, you know what? At least $30 of those donations we got on the stream yesterday, they were on some kind of zesty shit. But you know what? Hey, bring it here, brother, on some on a hetero hug.
Hey, 20 episodes down, 20 to go. We're going to beat the Mumkey and Big Show in episode total. And, for the Simian Jimmy Treehouse podcast, I've been patreon.com/Mumkey.
I've been Cash App, $1 egg white.
And we'll see you next time, folks. A peace.